Hello and welcome to Hoursin. This time we're aidé en français in The Spirit and the Mouse, developed by Alblune and published by Armorgamestudios. As always, more information about The Spirit and the Mouse can be found in the description of this video. The Spirit and the Mouse is a charming puzzle platformer, for lack of a better description, that kinda reminds me of a smaller version of Mario Odyssey. We play as Lila, the little mouse with a big heart, who wants nothing more than to help the people of her village, Squeakquel. While attempting to rescue a person's scarf from a large pole, a sudden electrical storm rolls in, and Lila gets struck by what appears to be lightning. Upon awakening, we discover that we actually collided with a spirit guardian named Lumion. Through this collision, Lumion's electrical powers have been transferred to us, and Lumion himself has become stuck in the lightning rod where we smashed into each other. With no other option, the Spirit Guardian entrusts us to complete his mission. We have to help the people of Squeakquel through the night using our newfound powers. And when enough of the villagers are satisfied, Lumion will be able to escape the lightning rod and Squeakquel. But what does helping the villagers entail? How do we know what they need? Each villager has their own story, with their own problems that need solving. The first thing we have to do is actually find the people we would like to help, then figure out how to get to them. It is a puzzle platformer after all. This is probably a good time to talk about how the movement in the game works. It's pretty simple on the surface. You can move in each of the 4 cardinal directions on the X and Y axis, and you can gain height on the Z axis by climbing up small ledges, climbing lattices, or using your electrical powers to ride wires. Throughout the game, you'll run into these little electrical panels with a lightning bolt on them. These serve as sort of time savers or shortcuts, but like in many games, you have to get to the end of the wire the hard way first before you can use it to save time. Speaking of wires, quite a few of the villagers' problems can be simplified down to electrical issues. Example: the first person we help after getting our powers wants to watch the season premiere of some sort of soap opera. He's never missed an episode during the show's entire 8-year run. However, when the TV's turned on, we instead see the dreaded no signal message. The other character in the scene theorizes that lightning must have struck the antenna on the roof and mentions that it is also too late to get it repaired. Luckily, we can help. We climb to the roof where the antenna resides and are greeted by a special device called a Kiblin box. When we interact with the Kiblin box, it asks us to feed it 25 energy. I sort of skipped over energy before, but essentially it's the main collectible in The Spirit and the Mouse. As we scurry through the streets of Squeakquel, we often come across objects that glow yellow. If we shock them, they spit out these little energy collectibles that look like lightning bolts. This energy is also the main currency of the game. Anyway, back to the Kiblin box. After we feed it the 25 energy it asks us for, the box springs to life. However, the Kiblin box is still missing something. Kiblins. Kiblins are these small electrical creatures that are visible only to spirit guardians who have the Kiblin tracking system, KTS, active. Typically, they stay inside of the Kiblin boxes and generate power, but sometimes, on nights like tonight, the Kiblins escape the boxes and need to be rounded up and convinced to return to their box. Each Kiblin will have a task for you to complete before it returns to operate the box. So far, the loop works like this. Find a villager with a problem, then listen to them. Find the malfunctioning Kiblin box responsible for their issue. Insert the required amount of energy to activate the box's KTS. Find the Kiblins native to that particular Kiblin box. Help those Kiblins with their tasks. Return to the Kiblin box to reboot it, then return to the villager and verify that their problem has been fixed and collect the happiness that they now generate. It's simple enough, but I found the hardest part to be finding some of the Kiblins. If you're having a hard time locating one or two, you can always return to the Kibblin box and pay a small amount of energy to track a specific Kibblin. The box will give you a hint, and a large beam will extend into the sky from where that specific Kibblin is located. Of course, knowing where they are is nice, but more often than not, the hard part is figuring out how to get there, like which buildings to climb, how to cut across, etc. There's also these blue light bulbs that you can collect, then give to the Kibblin by the fountain to unlock new items in his shop that you can buy with energy. Things like maps of the game's various areas, a fast travel function, and a photo mode that lets you take some nice screenshots, the thumbnail of this video being one of them. Overall, I've enjoyed what I've played so far of The Spirit and the Mouse. As I say, it reminds me a lot of Mario Odyssey in some ways. The general vibe and aesthetic of the French village is really nice, and it's just a cute game. There are a few minor issues I've had, such as getting lost and running in the same circle over and over again, or the camera not quite doing what I want it to do since we're so low to the ground. But those could be argued to be a skill issue and a feature respectively, rather than problems with the game. I think I will swing back and actually complete this game on a rainy afternoon sometime. It's not at the top of my list or anything, but I can't really think of anything too negative to say about it, besides those minor gripes I mentioned earlier. Had I paid full price for it, I may have felt differently, but for a free Epic game, I think it's worth your time. That's all for now. You've been watching Hoursin. What did you think of The Spirit and the Mouse? Did you manage to get it on Epic? Does it remind you of Mario Odyssey, or am I way off the mark? Did you have the same occasional camera issues I had, or is it just a skill issue? What did you think of the music, the setting, the characters? As always, thank you for watching, and I hope to see you in the next video.